All right, this is part 2. I'm going to get right into it. Take a look at this. Commodity prices soar as specter of food inflation is back. This is an article. Please download this article, look at it. Go to Google, search for this article, and you'll see that they're talking about the food prices, the rise of the food prices. And this is, again, correlates with the warning of Revelation 6:6. Where we see that a person will work all day long for a little bit of food, and these are the beginning of birth pangs. So we know that in the future it's going to get a lot worse. These storms, these heat waves, all these different weird conditions are going to wipe out some of the crops throughout the world. And eventually during the tribulation it's going to be so bad that the prices are going to be so high that one person will work all day long for one meal. This is the warning. Now, in the Daily News, it says disasters could push up world food prices. Again, listen to what the Lord is saying. Washington, this is where it came. Fires, floods, locusts, and droughts. A combination of crises that could mean higher prices around the world over the next 12 months. I'm not making this up. They're talking about higher prices, and they've already gone up 30 to, in some places, 60%. In Russia, they're talking about. Here's another one. Putin bans Russia grain exports due to what? Drought. They have a drought. Well, what did the Lord tell us in Revelation chapter 16 and Revelation chapter 7? He warned about people becoming hungry, excuse me, thirsty, the intense heat coming down on people. These are the signs of the last days. Here's another one. Britons to pay more for a loaf of bread as wheat prices jump. Am I kidding you or what? Take a look at Revelation 6:6 for yourself. Read it, because it mentions wheat and barley, the prices of wheat and barley. Or not, it doesn't say the prices, but it says that they will be working all day for a cup. Well, let's look at this. I'm going to read it right out of this. It says, and I heard the voice in the midst of the four beasts, and a measure saying, say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see that you hurt not thou the oil or the wine. So we see the barley, the wheat mentioned. People are going to be working all day long for that, and we're on our road to fulfill those very words that Christ gave to us. World feeling the heat as 17 countries experience record temperatures. Jesus said that they were coming. Now, I don't care if you believe who is causing it, whether you want to get in the debate here. Is it a human experience that's causing this, the global warming, or is it the natural phenomenon of the world? But I know for a fact that we're leading down the road. The temperatures are increasing. The drought is, the heat is worse than it's ever been right now. Look at this. Muscovites flee worst heat in 1,000 years. Death toll doubles. I mean, if I wanted to, I couldn't even make up these kind of articles to persuade people. But these are in the news, on the national news, in your country, all over the place. Number of people taken to hospital for heat stroke tops 30,000 people. This is the beginning. If you don't like the heat and you don't like these reports now, you're definitely going to not like what you're going to see during the tribulation. And the only way that you're going to get out of that tribulation is if you have Jesus Christ as your personal Savior. And you need to accept Jesus Christ as your Savior so you don't have to deal with this during the tribulation. Take a look at this. Thousands believed dead from the Russian heat wave. There's all kinds of information what's coming out from Russia on this. It says loss of 25% of Russia's what? Remember Revelation 6:6? Russian heat crops worries international grain markets. It's rising the price up. When you have less of the commodity, what happens? It raises the price of food. Here's another one. Civil Defense warns of direct sunshine as new blistering heat waves blast kingdom. The Civil Defense Department, the CDD, Wednesday, cautioned citizens against the exposure of direct sunshine for long periods to avoid sunstrokes as the kingdom is set to bake in a new scorching heat wave. Jordan, this is about Jordan news. It's not just Russia. The United States has been sweltering. Look at this in the Science Daily. Warmest year to date. Global temperatures on record. I mean, it is here in front of us. Please understand that these are the very warnings that Jesus told us about in the Gospels and in the book of Revelation. Global wording, extreme climate events dominate the summer. It says the heat wave in Russia is sparkling wildfires that driving residents in Moscow is devastating the country's wheat crop. A fifth of Pakistan is underwater. Millions are deluged by floods in Asia. Another heat wave is torturing Mexico and the east coast of the United States. An incomprehensibly large chunk of ice has broken off the glacier in Greenland, the most significant climate events in 50 years. If you can't see Jesus' handwriting on the wall for all these events, especially when he told us these very things were going to happen, I don't know what it would take. But here's the article that talked about that huge ice chunk that just blocked or came off or separated. This is a product of global warming, heating up. Heating up. Look at this, Iranian website. Khomeini claims he was visited by the hidden Ayman. This is the Islamic savior that they talked about. And they're saying that he was seen talking to this person, this cleric in Iran. And this is the same person that Ahmadinejad from Iran has stated that he believes he was born to lead this 12th Imam, this hidden savior who was in a well in Iraq somewhere. And Jesus told us if they tell you he's in a hidden chamber or in the desert, don't go, because he's a false Christ. And this is exactly what they're saying. Okay, exactly what they're saying. If anything, he'd be the false, the Antichrist coming out. Iran warns Israel against Israeli invasion on Lebanon. This is the signs of the new war that's coming up soon, the Psalm 83 war, where Lebanon is involved in this war. So is Syria, Jordan, Egypt, and the PLO. And this is going to happen during the time of peace. I mean, everything, you cannot believe the amount of information. Russia says it will begin fueling Iran's first nuclear power plant next week. And this is causing the world to speculate Israel is going to attack Iran. Well, Jesus told us in Matthew chapter 24, verse 6, you'll hear wars and rumors of wars. This is definitely a rumor of war, but it's going to turn into a war, because in Ezekiel chapter 38, we know that Iran is engaged in a war against Israel, and they lose. They'll be coming with Israel, or with the Russians. There's another one. Weekly jobless claims post surprise jump. 500,000 people from America just lost their jobs again. They had to increase the projections from Obama. He's been wrong almost every single month. So all these are signs that the Lord is coming back. All right? Look at this. Democrats, advocacy groups blast cuts to food stamps. Right? Food stamps. American on a record high using food stamps. Don't believe me? Take a look at this. Number of people using food stamps increasing. This is signs of America declining, and it's going. The decline of America is going to give rise to this revived Roman Empire, of which the Antichrist will control. He cannot take control unless there's some kind of chaos that causes him to come out. And we know for sure that the Antichrist will control the economy, because Revelation 13 verses 16 through 17 tells us that no one is going to be able to buy or sell anything unless they take the mark of the beast. And the road is being set. All of these things in Matthew chapter 24, Jesus told us, when you shall see all these things, know that it's near, even at the door. Jesus is near, even at the door. So if you're not a Christian already, I beg of you, accept Jesus Christ so he can remove you from this world inundated with pestilence and floods and earthquakes and disease and increasing temperatures. I mean, all of these things, the signs of war. Give your life to Jesus. It is the only way, and he is the only Savior of the world. John 14:6. Nobody's going to go through to God unless they go through Jesus Christ. Trust what he said.